Horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, milking with your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Now, can't nobody tell me nothing.
Welcome back to Kayak Hacks. Today we're going to mess with the bungee on our 2010 new Craigslist Hobie Outback. Wish me luck. Welcome to Kayak Hacks episode number 2. Watch this video today. I learned some stuff, and the reason I make these videos is because sometimes the stuff I find on the internet might be a little bit of a stretch. So I learned how to use, this was recommended, this is what I recommend. So watch it if you want to see why I recommend this tool over this tool for changing out the bungee on an old Hobie Kayak or a new Hobie Kayak. Hope you learned something. I know I did. As you can see, this has probably been sitting outside. I'm not too sure of the ownership of this. The guy I bought it from was selling several at once. This was the last one he sold and also the least expensive. So now don't hate me. First mod I had to do, he apparently gave me the wrong drive. This is a 2010 and it doesn't have the little cutouts here, so I had to actually hacksaw off these little knobs because it wouldn't fit in here otherwise. Don't hate me. I had to make it fit. This front thing, this front cargo netting shot, like I said, most of the bungee is shot. Probably use a new seal here. Okay, the reason I say it's probably been outside, it's like if you look down in the cup holder, you can see water rings, things like that. If you look down inside of it, you can see a little bit of water stainage. Now, one thing that I forgot to tell you, it does come with comes with an improved rudder, a larger rudder. So the first thing we're going to do is the easiest thing, hopefully, and we're just going to replace this system. Next, we're going to go in and we're going to start to replace this stuff. Now, on the interweb, they said all it takes to get this stuff off is a pair of pliers. Be prepared. Some of those things are in tight. Those Hobie technicians apparently hate people. I don't know. Which in this case, and I'll set up the tripod later, I can get it to move. So I'm going to be able to back that out. That's a screw. On our paddle holder here, I managed to start this one, but this one's getting all tuned up, as you can see. So be prepared. Old boat, old stuff. Here's what we're going to need. We're going to need our new bungee. We're going to need some pliers. We're going to need some zip ties. We might need some stuff to pull things around with, poke stuff in and out. We're going to need something with flame. I'll pull out my torch here in a minute. And on this one, I know I joke around, but I think this might be a multi-beer project with the way things are beginning to get tuned up. You know, you just leave plastic out in the sun and it degrades. But I don't know. Let's take off our first bungee, see where we go. Alright, so now the way you're supposed to do this, these click off anyway. Those click off, so that should be pretty easy. So we just start taking it apart. Right here we're going to have to cut because obviously I'm not going to be able to get this through. I'm going to try and reuse this hardware, these hooks right here. We'll see how that goes. So, something to cut with. Alright, so far so good. Here, I'll show you what I did here. I have this pair of plier tools with this little nose, and I took and I started to push up from the bottom. Just like that. And you see how this pops out? Then I just grabbed it and started pulling up with it. Then I thought to myself, you know, before I completely undo this, I better take a look at it and maybe do one at a time. That way I can recreate what has been done. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a piece of our new bungee, and I got a different color so that as people are watching or as people see this, you can see what I have replaced and what I haven't yet. So we're going to grab a a new piece of this, and we're going to try and insert it into this hook. Alright, so we have our old piece for reference. I have my old piece. And what I basically did is I shoved that up, just like that. Let me tell you, it's not easy. Not easy. Notice how it's frayed? It's because I haven't put any heat on it yet. I'm not sure if this is going to help us or not. Help us or hurt us here. We'll let that cool down a second. I think that might not be helping us, guys. That's created a diameter wider than what we need. Find myself a piece of wood here. Okay, not pretty, but at least it's not larger than our diameter. This looks like it's going to be the worst part. So I'm going to fight with it. Y'all have been watching me too long already. Here we go. And it doesn't help that we're in Houston. Ah, damn it. Now they've become frayed. Alright, that ain't gonna work either. You know what I might have to do here? I'm gonna find some tape. Alright, so here's what I figured out after messing with this for a little bit. I tried wrapping it in tape, that didn't work. I tried blowtorching it a little bit. That didn't work. The only thing that allowed me to make these really compound curves through here, this head gets torn up really bad no matter what you try to do as you're squeezing it through there, was just to make tiny fresh cuts. Tiny fresh cuts at each one, and that's what allowed me to get through it. So now we got to go try and affix it to the kayak. Alright, so as you can see, I bought way more cord than normal, or than I needed. I did that for a reason. I know these things never work out the way they're supposed to. So before I put the next hook back on here, what I'm going to do is there are two eyelets here that we have to run it through. So I have it anchored up there at the front. I'm going to run it through here. Hang on, is that right? Or is this going to go? Nope, probably should go to the other one. There's a way that it's going to run. It'll run here, here, and back through. So we'll run it this way. Alright, so I had all that wrong. This is the way it's supposed to go. I had it right the first time. It goes from there, across here, through that eyelet, back to this eyelet, back to that cleat, and back over here to the other eyelet. So now what I have to do is I have to get the hook, the other hook put back on, and from there I can tighten everything up a little bit. Alright, so there we go. We got ourselves a new bungee system. Now what I'm going to try to do here, I'm going to try and be smart. I'll tell you if this is smart later. I'm going to leave myself some slack here. The reason I'm going to leave myself some slack is I found that it's easier to adjust this stuff when I have some slack. So say I want this tighter or looser in the future, the slack gives me the ability to do that. Tighten up, loosen up. I hope these scissors cut through here. There we go. Alright, now this one I am going to hit with some heat. Turn it on. Turning it on is always good.